Trump escalates America's trade war the night after his private crypto dinner. And you know the old saying, when America's stocks go low, Trump's fortune goes high. If there's one thing I learned since Trump got back into office, it's this. If you woke up in the morning feeling good about your finances, enjoy it, because that feeling won't last.
Some breaking news. Right now, markets are down after President Trump escalated his trade war this morning. In his first salvo, the president threatened Apple CEO Tim Cook with a 25% tariff unless his company begins manufacturing iPhones in the U.S. Moments later, the president threatened a blanket 50% tariff on imports from the European Union, claiming trade discussions are going, quote, nowhere.
Nowhere? I disagree. Americans would love for them to be going nowhere. They are going backwards. Let's start with the European Union. As a result of the EU so rudely refusing to kiss Trump's ring, he's raised their tariffs to 50%. This, of course, after making them 30% on April 2nd, and then changing that to 10% after his 90-day pause. Trump's tariffs numbers go up and down more than Matt Gaetz's khakis outside a local high school. But how are we even here? I thought after Liberation Day we were supposed to be swimming in deals. What's up, EU?
And I believe the president believes that the EU proposals have not been of the same quality that we've seen from our other important trading partners. I've said there are 18 important trade deals that we have to do. I'm working mostly on Asia, and that group has move forward with some very interesting proposals.
There has never been a bigger tell in history than Scott Bessent's cough. Well, I definitely have a straight flush, which is why I'm putting all of my chips in. But back on Earth One, the deals are not happening. Since April 2nd, Trump has made all of one deal off his tariff threats, and it was with the UK, which we have a trade surplus with. It's like bullying the kids in school for their lunch money, but it's the lunch money we gave them. So on June 1st, the EU can expect a 50% tariff, unless...
I think that the language is very important. He is recommending a 50% tariff, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's effective or that it even will happen.
And isn't that what's most important when it comes to setting the economic policy for the world's most powerful nation? Not that you convey confidence through clarity, but mostly that you just say stuff that may or may not happen at some untold point in the future. And it wasn't just the EU that caught Donald Trump's ire this morning. He also reserved some of it for our most iconic American company, Apple.
He wants iPhones made in the United States, and that is why he's threatening this 25% tariff on Apple. The problem is it's just not feasible.
Give the reality of it.
Apple will not be moving iPhone production to the U.S. Analysts estimate that if it did move iPhone production to the U.S., it would take 5 to 10 years, and that once that happened, iPhones could cost $3,500. That is 3 times the amount that they cost today.
For a president of America, this president doesn't really seem to understand Americans. We like things fast and cheap, occasionally furious, but mostly fast and cheap. Trump's plan for Apple is going to take time and cost more money, but he doesn't see it that way.
What makes you confident, sir, that Apple can build in the United States at a price that American consumers?
Oh, they can. No, they can. And a lot of it's so computerized now. These plants are amazing if you look at them, but they can do that.
Sorry, my bad. I thought a lot of them were computerized. That's why Apple is so successful, because over in China, they overwork and underpay all those computers. At the end of the day, Trump's attacks on the EU and Apple will have the biggest impact on American consumers. That's who it'll hurt most. But what's most egregious is that he's doing it less than 24 hours after this.
President Trump hosting a dinner for holders of his meme coin last night.
Here's what we know about the guest list, Major. We know that in order to get on it, people had to be among the top purchasers of the Trump coin. We are talking about millions, if not tens of millions of dollars spent on the coin that was created by the president and his family and other backers just a few days before he took office for his second term.
But look, in fairness, everyone does this kind of thing, right? Before you start your new job, you get a new outfit, fresh pair of shoes, create a meme coin with your family that you can dangle in front of billionaires as a way to exploit your democratically elected position while enriching yourself at the same time, a fresh haircut. Donald Trump's crypto dinner took place at his golf course in Virginia because, as everyone knows, Virginia is for lovers of corruption. But while you all may cry foul, the reality is that all of this is very above board, and the donors were proud to make their attendance known.
Show
Yes, nothing screams legitimacy more than someone feeling the need to go full deadmau5 on their way to a dinner with the President of the United States. But hey, I remember when Obama did it too. Nothing to see here. Now, after all was said and done, the people attending Trump's crypto dinner must have been pleased since they shelled out hundreds of millions of dollars, got to ask 0 questions, and take 0 pictures with the president, and were treated to food that apparently sucked, which, frankly, is shocking for a guy with such a refined palate. Of course, this administration says that Trump isn't the one profiting off his dinner, that the money is simply going into a business called Fight LLC, which is a mystery in terms of who owns that. But frankly, the White House is sick and tired of all of the accusations.
The American public believe it's absurd for anyone to insinuate that this president is profiting off of the presidency.
Frankly, we should all be sick and tired of these insinuations that Donald Trump is profiting off the presidency simply because his net worth has more than doubled to $5.4 billion since he took office, or the cost of 3 iPhones in a few years. You have to take a step back here, though, and really appreciate the level of contempt that Republicans actually have for their voters. From the moment Joe Biden took office in 2021, Trump and his MAGA cronies waged an all-out war on him for being the most corrupt president of our lifetimes. And what do they use as proof? The accusation that his son, Hunter, made $20 million benefiting off the Biden name. And while I'm as shocked as the next person that any Trump would ever dare disparage a Hunter, they were relentless. It was investigation after investigation, all of which, by the way, it turned up nothing, but they groomed millions of their supporters into thinking that anyone who has the audacity to profit off of one's political status is a criminal and deserves to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And not by one of these corrupt judges, by the way, who penalizes decent, noble men, a real judge who does what's right for America. And now, Trump and those same MAGA cronies have the audacity to look their voters in the eyes as Trump has already profited nearly $3 billion from his crypto venture, more than 100 times what Hunter Biden was accused of making, and with a straight face they tell their supporters, yep, nothing to see here. It is the epitome of condescension. Trump doesn't give 2 shits about corruption as long as he's the one benefiting from it. If Hunter Biden had Donald's last name, well, 1, Eric would still be the least favorite son, but 2, Trump would be applauding him for scoring any amount of cash that he could. This president is a power-hungry monster who's happy to enrich himself while watching everybody else get fucked. He's like Diddy, only with shittier dance moves.